are you all? Today we are going to start with a new poem, that is the poem from class 10th, written by William Butler Yeats. The title of the poem is For Anne Gregory. So first of all, I'll just tell you about the introduction of the poem and about the author. As we know, this poem is written by William Butler Yeats. He was an Irish nationalist, and as the poem's title suggests, he is talking to someone whose name is Anne Gregory. Actually, Anne Gregory is one of his companion's granddaughter, and the companion of this writer was named as Isabel Augusta Lady Gregory, and he's talking to the granddaughter of his companion at the time of when they were very much famous, and they were just have formed a literary club, and they were working together in that literary club. So granddaughter of Anne Gregory and William Butler Yeats, they knew each other, and in conversation with Anne Gregory, the author is talking about something important. Okay, so although the author mainly wrote about the myths and folklore, but here in this poem the author is generally talking about something realistic. Okay, so in this poem we'll get to know how the conversation take place between the poet and Anne Gregory. So this is the small introduction about the poet. You can just read about. Just moving toward the poem, as we are talking about the introduction, the poet touches a very important aspect of life here. He says that it is almost impossible to find a person in your life who loves you truly. The poet has the opinion that it is really very much impossible that you find a true person in your life who will love you for the way you are. Okay, he is trying to convey this thing that we are generally liked by our outer appearance, or someone will definitely attract by the outer appearance or the beauty we have, but not for the beauty we have inwardly. Nobody will like the beauty we have inside, but definitely everybody will seek for the outer beauty and outer appearance, how we look, how we dress up. So he says that nobody in this world will find a true person who will genuinely love you for what you are. Okay, so by saying truly, he means the one who loves you qualities and not your looks. He says that the God loves us for what we are from inside. So he has the opinion that only the God is there who loves us for what we really are. हम जो हैं अंदर से, उसके लिए सिर्फ हमें भगवान ही पसंद करता है, ना कि कोई और इंसान इस दुनिया में हम ऐसा ढूंढ पाएंगे जो हमें हमारी अंदर की शक्ति या अंदर की जो ब्यूटी है उसके लिए हमें जो है चाहेगा, ना कि आउटर खूबसूरती के लिए. Okay, moving to the poems, stanza 1. So as we read the lines, never shall a young man thrown into despair by those great honey-colored ramparts at your ear love you for yourself alone and not your yellow hair. So here we can just see that this is the beautiful girl out there. She has yellow hair, and he's saying that never shall a young man. So he's talking about a young man, okay, thrown into despair by those great honey colored ramparts at your ear. Honey colored is what? Something that is yellow in color. So he's talking about the hair which are quite yellow in color. So he says that any man can love you for the hair you have. The author is here talking to Gregory, and he is telling him that they are having a conversation, and he is trying to convince him that the kind of hair you have, there will be no man who will deny to love you, and every man will fall in love with you. Why? Because you have that color of the hair which generally attracts everyone. And what do you mean by the ramparts at your ear? That means that the outer edge of your ear Actually, rampart is the meaning is given here, the high wide walls around a castle or fort, for example the ramparts of the Red Fort. So outer wall of any of the uh, castles or forts out there, they are called the rampart. But here the ramparts are considered to be the outer edge of our ears, and the hair are falling on that ear, and he says those hair falling on your ear can attract any man in the world. So love you for yourself alone and not your yellow hair. Okay, so he is telling her that he will not she will not find anyone who will love her for the way she is inside, but definitely for the looks she has. Okay, so hope this paragraph is understood. We will move on to the next paragraph. Actually, the poet is trying to convey the very uh, realistic thing here. That you also know that nobody likes us for the way we are inside, but definitely for the outer appearance and how we look from outside. This is the scenario these days. So moving to the next line or next passage or stanza. Read through the lines. But I can get a hair dye. Now the girl, Gregory says that, but I can get a hair dye and set such color there, brown or black or carrot, that young man in despair may love me for myself alone and not my yellow hair. Now here you also get to know about an idea, like the women with yellow hair or the dark brown hair are liked very much by the people around, but the women who are having the black color hair or the red color hair or the carrot color hair, they are not liked much by the men. So this is the notion, kind of notion, that the poet is trying uh, to portray here, that the women who have the other kind of hair or other color of the hair, they are generally not liked by people, but the women who have yellow hair generally are considered beautiful by the men. So the girl says that I will dye my color, hair my colors, so I can dye my color or I can get my hair color changed, so that the men who fall in love with me will only fall in love with me just because I am beautiful inside, not because I have yellow hair. तो यहाँ पर जो ग्रोजरी है वो ये कहना चाहती है कि मैं अपने बालों को अगर चेंज करवा दूँ कलर, तो हो सकता है जो इंसान मेरे से प्यार करे वो सिर्फ मेरे लिए, जो मैं हूँ, what kind of a person I am, what qualities I possess, उसी लिए मेरे को चाहे, उसी लिए मुझे पसंद करे, बट ना कि मेरे येलो हेयर के लिए. सो फिर उसको जो पोएट है वो कन्विंस करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं नेक्स्ट पैराग्राफ में और नेक्स्ट स्टांजा में. I heard an old religious man. Now the poet is trying to convince the lady that मैंने एक religious man या फिर एक holy man से सुना है, but yesternight is here, the previous night, declared that he had found a text to prove that only God, my dear, could love you for yourself alone and not your yellow hair. So he is trying to convince the lady, whether you dye your hair or you try to make yourself look ugly, so there is no possibility that you will be loved for the way you are, but there is only the God who loves you for the way you are and the qualities you have. सिर्फ एक भगवान है जो आपको उसी के लिए चाहता है जो आप हो, चाहे आप अपना फिर कलर चेंज करवा बालों की या फिर आप अपना अपीयरेंस को चेंज कर लो. तो वो बोल रहा है कि उस रिलीजियस मैन ने एक फैक्ट हमें दिया है या प्रूफ किया है ये, और उन्हें कहा है कि एक रिलीजियस बुक में या कुछ इंस्क्रिप्शंस या कोई ऐसे स्क्रिप्चर्स उनको मिले हैं जिसमें ये लिखा गया है कि जो भगवान है वही एक है जो हमें हमारे लिए ही प्यार करता है, ना कि हमारे येलो बालों के लिए. तो यहाँ पे हमें पता चल रहा है कि जो पोएट है तो बड़ा ही एक रियलिस्टिक सा मैटर जो है इस पोएम में लेकर आए हैं और हमें समझाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि चाहे हम जितनी भी कोशिश करें एक ट्रू पर्सन ढूंढने की जो हमें उस लिए प्यार करे कि हमारे अंदर जो क्वालिटीज़ हैं उनके लिए, ना कि हमारी आउटर ब्यूटी के लिए. लेकिन ऐसा पॉसिबल नहीं है इस दुनिया में। सिर्फ एक भगवान है जो हमें उसके लिए प्यार करेगा जो हम एक्चुअली में हैं। So hope you have understood this poem. This is just a small poem of 3 stanzas where the poet is trying to highlight a very realistic thing, that is the beauty inside and the beauty outside. Okay, so generally what we are going to conclude through the poem is the people are not the object to be valued for their qualities or riches rather than for themselves. So hope you like the explanation. Thank you.